Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing a way to quickly farm red pearls at level 99 on the Hydra boss, Treshen. Now, this video is going to be mostly for like veteran players that have lots of powerful units, a lot of powerful gear, etc. You can swap things around, but this is going to be a 2-turn KO at level 99. Super quick and easy to do. You can mostly just push repeat and chain it up. And because level 99 gives you the highest chance of getting these red pearls, it's actually it's 0.5 at 81. But let's go ahead and go in here to 99, and I will show real quick. The chance at 99 is 1.21% per option, so it's more like 4.5% per clear. Anyway, this is the clear we're going to go with on level 99, no modifiers. I'm going to do a few runs, and then I will show you the team and explain it. But again, this does require pretty powerful gear as well as quite a few units. But if you have the options, it's a quick way to do it. You can also use this to just like work your way through the ranks if you didn't even clear the boss yet. Anyway, EX2 Roka is going to regular LB on turn 1. That's an LB buff, a stat buff, and an Earth Amplify. Cacteria is going to triple. We're going to Hallowed Desert, or Hallowed Desert, to imperil the boss to everything and imbue Earth. We're going to Thorny Teamwork to Earth Resist buff as well as Fist Imperil. And we're going to Armor Breaking Needles for an 89% defense break. On turn 1, all Ling is going to do is Hunter Stance to do Beast Killer. Maeve is going to... Now, she's auto-covering the Threshold. So we're just going to triple Bolting Strike to chain with our Carton, who is going to Feral Frenzy. Make sure when you chain a triple caster with a special skill like Frenzy, that the person using the special skill is always higher in the party than your triple caster, or the chain will break. So Carton has to be higher in the party than Maeve. You know, Carton's in slot 5, Maeve's in slot 6. And Seth will just use his base form LB. Now keep in mind, the boss does use a death attack on the lowest HP unit that used an LB during the threshold. Because Roka used an LB, and Roka has the lowest HP by a huge amount, Roka will always get the death, and Sephiroth will never die. So go ahead and chain these guys up. And then Frenzy plus Sephiroth comes in here. The boss has, I think, 500,000. We did 685,000. There's the death on the lowest HP unit, which was Roka. Notice we didn't do any kind of like magic defense break or magic or attack break, and we also didn't do any kind of mitigation buffs. Our Maeve is completely immune to everything. I'll show you the gear at the end. Now on turn 2, the only thing we ever have to use manual retarget is Celestial Dance and Dragon Dancer on turn 2, and that just fills Sephiroth, and then we just hit reload and chain again. And that is the clear. Sephiroth is now stacked up for the second clear, so it's, even more of an overkill. So there it is, quick and easy farming on the red pearls. We did, more damage on the second clear. And we're going to go ahead and do like 2 more clears just to show you that, this is not really reliant on RNG or anything, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get a red pearl during this. Here's the breakdown. Pretty, relatively smooth damage between Carton and Sephiroth. No red pearl that time. I'm not getting lucky on red pearls this month. Had a lot better luck last month on red pearls. I've been farming this guy for a while, and he's only given me 1 so far. Feels bad, but I'll get him eventually. And with this clear, as you can see, it's incredibly quick and easy. Now that I've already done a clear, we can just mostly push reload, except for Ling. Ling is the only one we have to actually manually do. Whoops. Ling's the only one we have to actually do every time. So we just Hunter Stance with Ling, reload Cac and Roka, wait for them to finish. And let's go ahead and chain this up. And here we go. Roka's going to eat the death. And that's it. Threshold we auto cover with that one was a little bit worse on variance, but there it is. Yeah, Maeve is 100% immune to everything, and I will show you. She has Thunder, wind and earth, and because thunder is so high, it averages out the low wind resist, and it's fine. Like I said, I'll show the gear in a moment. So turn 2, we just do Celestial and Dragon with Ling to refill Sephiroth. Reload and finish it off. And yeah, you can use this to clear all the way from level 0 up to level 99. If you know, if you haven't really wanted to build like a serious team to do a real clear, and you've got these units, you can just use this literal thing, don't turn on modifiers, and just lazy mode your way all the way to the bank. So let's go ahead and see if we get a red pearl this time. No red pearl. Alright, we're going to do one more clear, and then I'm going to show you the gear for the setup and explain in detail why this is working the way it's working. Alright, one more clear. Alright, some auto casting. Alright, Ling is going to do Beast Killer. We reload Cacteria and Roka, wait for them to finish. Okay, chain it up. Okay. 650, that was a really good variant roll. And again, you know, because Roka has the lowest HP, she is always going to eat the death. Keep in mind, it's the lowest HP among units that actually used a Limit Burst. So you have to actually use a Limit Burst to be, you know, a valid target for the death thing. Anyway. There it is. Okay, so 3 quick clears, you know, does require very good gear, which I'll show you in just a second. But if you have the gear, quick and easy farming. Quick and easy farming. You can also use this to, like I said, clear all the way up from the lower levels. And like, you know, here's the damage. Sephiroth rolled bad that time. And red pearl, no red pearl. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in here, and I'll show you the gear for what we're using. So, Roka EX2 is the only requirement. Make sure her LB is leveled up. She is completely naked. Even though she's HP potted, she has garbage HP, which is actually a good thing. That means she is always going to be targeted for the death attack during the threshold. It'll keep our Sephiroth nice and safe as we sacrifice Roka to the death strike. She provides, with her LB, 300 stat buffs, 250 LB damage buff, and a 35 Earth Amplify. Cacteria, completely naked. She does, on the clear, Hollow Desert. That's a 135 Earth Imperil and a 120 Dark Imperil for Sephiroth. It also imbues the party with Earth Element. We do Thorny Teamwork. That's a 30% Fist Imperil for our Carton. It also gives a 150 Earth resist buff for our tank. I don't actually need it because of the gear I'm using, but if your gear is not as good as mine, that Earth resist buff will make gearing a lot easier. We also do a 89% defense break, so there it is. Ling, the only thing she's wearing in the shift form is literally Call of the Wild. You don't even need the paintbrush. All she does on turn 1 is Hunter Stance. This costs 15 LB gauge. We're getting 8 LB gauge preemptively from Call of the Wild. We're getting 10 preemptively from Roka. You may not know this, but Roka preemptively fills your LB gauge by 10 as an autocast for the whole party. So 10 from autocast Roka and 8 from the Call of the Wild gives you 15 LB gauge. Of course, you could also use the paintbrush if you really wanted to. I got this filters. Anyway, you get the idea. The paintbrush works as well. That way, if in case you're not using Roka, maybe change the team up a little bit. Use like Aerith or something instead of Roka. Yeah, but 15 LB gauge on turn 1, and then on turn 2, she just dual cast Celestial Dance and Dragon Dancer. That fills 60 LB gauge, which gives Sephiroth a second LB on the second turn. Sephiroth, not using the base form. Shift form is just damage. I did give Carton the best gear to make pushing the first threshold safer, because Sephiroth is a little bit weaker on the first LB. But here's his gear. Relatively decent gear. It kind of hurts that he doesn't have Tifa's card or the Crown Helm, because I gave those to Carton. Maxed LB, 275 Beast, and 50 Dragon. So he's like really suffering on killers because Carton stole the best stuff, not using the base form. Shift form is going double hand build. He is a really big damage on turn 1. He can actually technically solo turn 1, and my old clear was doing that, but it was a lot more specific and it was a lot less forgiving because you needed good variants that actually didn't even work sometimes. This clear always works. Here's the build. Double hand, chain cap up, killers, etc. 6,000 attack power, double hand, 200 beast, 300 dragon, and he does the majority of the damage. And then Maeve. Maeve does triple cast bolting to chain with our carton. She also auto casts physical cover because she's using her TMR or her STMR, and she's wearing resistance gear. Now the threshold does two kinds of attacks. It does earth and lightning damage as well as wind and lightning damage. Because we're getting a 250 imperil to all elements, we need to have a combined 700% of wind and lightning and earth and lightning. You don't need wind and earth together, just wind and lightning and earth and lightning. Those each need to add together to 700 or better. So as you can see, 495 and 215 earth is exactly, actually 710, and then earth plus, wind plus lightning is way more than 700. We are using a 150 earth resist buff, so technically you only really need 550 combined lightning and earth resist, but you do still need 700 combined lightning and wind resist. Anyway, this is probably the hardest thing to build, is the resistances, not to mention you kind of need Maeve for this specific strategy. Who else could anyone triple cast Bolting Strike with preemptive cover of either type? I don't think anyone can. Oh, Bohemi could. You could use Bohemi. Yeah, Bohemi could autocast his cover and triple Bolting Strike. If you don't have Maeve, Bohemi works totally fine, as long as you can gear him in enough resistances. Yeah, so Bohemi's auto cover, if he has 700% to wind, earth, and wind, lightning. No, I'm sorry, wind, lightning, and earth, lightning. Bohemi works as well. Anyway, here's the gear we did it with. A lot of resistance gear, and that gave her the resistances to immune the threshold. And there's the quick clear. I'm going to try gearing Bohemi for it. I'll be right back, and I'll show you an example Bohemi build that should work as well. Okay, guys, I've geared Bohemi, and he gears for this extremely easily. Yeah, he's got... I went overboard just for the sake of comparison. I've got 630 thunder resist and more than 200 to wind and earth. So, yeah, I have dramatically more resist than I need, even unbuffed. So Bohemi worked totally fine. We're going to do one more clear with Bohemi. Here's the gear. I am using a lot of, like, STMRs, and obviously I went way overboard for the sake of it. Here's a great card. This gives 15, 15 to Earth and Lightning, 15, 15, that's 30, and then right here, another 60 for FFB units. So that is 60 Lightning and Earth resist from this, like, freebie card that you get during off-banner pulls. So, yeah, that was super easy to gear here. We're going to go ahead and do one more clear. Because, like I said, this clear works totally fine without Maeve. So let's use Bohemi to do the same thing. We just want auto cover with immunity to the threshold. So, okay. Let's do another clear. Ling just does Hunter Stance. We reload these two. Bohemi is going to triple bolting. Bolting, bolting, bolting. And that's it. Wait for this to finish. Chain this up. Same thing as using it with Maeve. You know, Maeve or Bohemi were literally just a chain bot. They weren't really here for damage. Yeah, we did more than enough we need, and we just refill. Here goes Bohemi covering all the damage passively with auto cover. Outstanding. Worked totally fine with Bohemi if you don't want to use Maeve or don't have Maeve. Ling will Celestial and Dragon Dancer to refill Sephiroth. Reload. Chain it up. Another clear. So there is a good swap for Maeve if you don't have her. Cacteria is a little important to power up Carton because of the Fist Imperil. Not to mention the rest of the party. There probably are ways to swap it around to get other easy two-turn clears. You have to just like think about it and figure it out. But if you've got all those units, there is an easy 2-turn clear. So I will see you guys in a bit.